Good evening. Thank you, Greta. Thank you, Tezo, and all the wonderful associates. So have you ever thought about what kind of fruit or vegetable you might be if you weren't a human being? Well, the options are pretty long. It could be a zucchini or an artichoke. Well, tonight I get to introduce to you a peach. I am so pleased to introduce tonight's speaker. And Secretary Ross spoke this morning. One of her parting words was, those of you who are farming, wouldn't it be great, what a great vision if your kids want to stay and work on your farm. So many kids choose not to work on their family's farm. It's too much work, there's no opportunity. Well, this young peach I'm going to introduce you to tonight is a remarkable young woman who is bucking that trend. Hallie Muller is the second of 4 kids, first daughter. Her parents, many might be known to you, Paul Muller and Drew Rivers, some of the most innovative farmers in our state, along with their partners, farming partners, Judith Redmond and Andrew Brait, have created Full Belly Farm in the Capay Valley of Yolo County, which is really one of the most successful, innovative, and beloved farms in all of California. Paul and Drew have also been able to raise 4 incredible kids. Their farm has been a beacon for many. Full Belly Farm farms organically. It sponsors the Hose Down, 5,000 visitors coming out to a farm for a weekend, 5,000 people. It employs many workers year-round. It grows fantastic vegetables, markets in the Bay Area and beyond, has one of the most strongest educational components on a farm you'll find anywhere. And Hallie, that's her job. Get that. She's the outreach and education coordinator for Full Belly Farm. How cool is that? She's also a graduate of California State University, Chico. She got her degree in ag education. She runs the Hose Down Festival every year, and she is just one of our shining lights of our young farmer for the next generation. And I am just so pleased to introduce Hallie Muller to you. Thanks.
I'll get creative with it. I might just hold it, in fact. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here and have the opportunity to talk with you all. And I just have to say, what an exciting time it is to be a farmer. The energy in this room right here alone just makes me so thankful that I was born and raised on a farm in Northern California. This is just a tremendous opportunity. So thank you to the board of directors for thinking of me, and thank you for having me here. I hope you all are enjoying your desserts. They look really yummy. So I am not going to claim to be any sort of an expert on any one topic, but I would like to just tell you my story and hopefully share with you a little bit about what I know about how exciting it is to be a young person in agriculture right now. I was born and raised on a farm called Full Belly Farm, and we are located in the Capay Valley, just like Casey said. Capay Valley is just about an hour northwest of Sacramento. In this little tiny valley, there's only about 2,000 people that live in our whole valley. And something that I think is really fun is the graduating class of my high school had only 50 people, and there's another person here from my graduating class at this conference. And then there's another Sparto High School graduate here as well. There's 3 of us in this room. It's really exciting. My dad came from a farming background, so technically I'm a third-generation farmer, though I'm only a second-generation organic farmer. My grandfather moved to the United States from Switzerland when he was just 19 years old, and he moved to Chino, where he began milking cows by hand every day. When he was just a young guy, he met my grandmother. They moved to a farm in San Jose, and there they had a dairy farm. It was a drive-through dairy, which was pretty cool. Everyone could come drive through, pick up all of their dairy needs, everything from ice cream to sour cream. And they were farming there, doing really well. They had 6 kids, a big Catholic family, and then all of a sudden San Jose started to grow, and the farm that my father grew up on is now a strip mall. And when he was 14, my grandfather and grandmother moved them to Woodland, where my uncles and grandpa still farm about 12,000 acres. It's a big farm. They're farming on a whole different scale than what we're doing. And my father saw this system, this cycle that my grandfather was going through year after year, one where my grandfather and uncles would take out production loans that were big loans, and then they would pray for the right kind of weather. They would have contracts with these production companies, these big canning companies, and they would hope that they would be able to meet these contracts every year. And that was a cycle that my dad was really wary of. And they had no control over their price at the market. And so when my dad was a young guy thinking about farming and what he was going to do, he decided he wanted to do something a little bit differently. So he started farming organically, and everyone in his family thinks of him as sort of the, dark horse, black sheep. But he decided he wanted to have a farm where his kids could walk out into the field and pick those vegetables that he was growing and eat them right there without ever worrying about whether or not they were going to be ingesting any sort of chemicals. He wanted to start a farm where the economics made sense, and financially we would be able to support ourselves in a way that really, really worked for us. And so he set out to create something a little bit different. And with my mom and 2 other farming partners, they created Full Belly Farm. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about Full Belly Farm. There we go. So we are a farm located in the beautiful Capay Valley. We've done a lot of work with regional branding in the last couple of years, and so many farms in our area use this as our regional brand. Our valley is small, but it's pretty gorgeous. It has a big, wide valley floor that's almost 2 miles wide in some areas, and the farmland there is terrific. We're also really lucky to have a great river that runs through our valley so that everyone there has fair opportunities for water. Full Belly Farm is about 350 acres, and all of those acres are certified organic. And we farm about 80 to 100 different kinds of fruits and vegetables on our farm. We're pretty diversified in terms of what we're doing in our area. In addition to row crops, we also have fruit trees as well as nuts. And we are able to grow, due to our climate, 365 days out of the year, so there's always something happening and growing on our farm. We also have recently started growing grains, including wheat, which is a really fun new opportunity for our family. In addition to the crops that we're growing, we also have animals. We have about 300 sheep that we grow. They're a really integral part of our farm, and those sheep are moved throughout all of our fields as they're done being harvested. And so the sheep then we use for wool, as well as we harvest their meat and sell that to our CSA customers. We also have some goats. And we have about 1,000 laying hens who are a pasture poultry project that my younger brother actually started when he was just a junior in high school. So we sell our produce 3 different ways. We go to 3 farmers markets a week, mostly in the Bay Area. We also sell to stores and restaurants and to some wholesale distributors, and that portion of our sales makes up about 60% of our sales for our farm. And finally, we also have a CSA box program, and we deliver about 1,200 CSA boxes every week to customers, mostly in the Bay Area. Now, it sounds like a lot of work, but it's mostly a lot of fun, and we are so blessed to have a crew of folks who works on our farm who are just outstanding, and taking care of the people who work with us on our farm is priority number one. We have a family who's been with us for almost 27 years, and now their cousins and children and aunts and uncles work with us on our farm. And so we try to provide them with year-round employment. That's a huge goal of ours. And so we do our best to make sure that those folks who want work on our farm have it for the entire year round. In the summertime, we employ about 70 people full-time, and in the winter, it's more like 50. In addition to keeping folks employed year-round, we really work hard to provide them with health care. So after working on our farm for 5 months, everyone receives full health care benefits. And we do our best to help purchase homes for our crew in our area. So we've co-signed on many homes to make sure that the community surrounding our farm is people who are living there and working on our farm feel like that's their home and that's where they belong. So this is going to take us back a little bit. That's my dad and me. Many, many years ago, I was actually born on Full Belly Farm, and that's where I was blessed to grow up. And growing up as a farm kid, how many here grew up on a farm? By show of hands. All right. Oh, that is such good news. Growing up as a farm kid was probably one of the most exciting experiences ever. I spent most of my time running just pretty much wild and free on our farm while I was a kid. My parents worked really long hours. They were young farmers just starting out. And man, oh man, did they have a lot of energy. I think back to what my parents did when I was a baby. They were working 16, 18-hour days, and they loved it. They were working to build something that they realized was way bigger than themselves. And as they had more kids, which they did. I'm one of 4. We spent a lot of time going places with them, including waking up really early on Saturday mornings, 3 a.m., to go to farmers markets down in Palo Alto, and smiling as cute as we could, knowing that if we could sell a few more watermelons, we might be able to stop at the batting cages on the way home.